basically you also a little bit tall peak PVS. The RV forces are high, so there will be a tall RV in the V1, V2, and
सारे राइट साइडेड लीड्स में मैनिफेस्ट कर रहा है, इंफीरियर लीड से मैनिफेस्ट कर रहा है. आरएसआर पैटर्न इज अ वेरी हॉलमार्क. पीआर प्रोलॉन्गेशन विल बी सीन. क्रोशेट साइन विल बी सीन इन इंफीरियर लीड्स. आरबीओटी डायलेटेड है, इसलिए आरबीओटी के टर्मिनल फोर्सेस स्लर हो जाते हैं, इसलिए आरएसआर बेस्ट प्रेशर मिल जाता है. रॉकेट साइन इसलिए मिलता है जल्दी, एट टाइम्स इट वाज टेकन एज अ शंट सिवियरिटी का मार्कर. कुछ केसेस में पीएफओ में एम्बोलिक स्ट्रोक्स में भी आरएसआर क्रोशेट साइन ज्यादा कॉमनली मिलता है, बट दिस इज जस्ट ऑब्जर्वेशनल. द मेन फाइंडिंग्स आर आरएसआर डैश पैशन एंड प्रोलॉन्ग पीआरएल. What happens in sinus node SVC type sinus venosus ASD? Sinus node dysfunction is much more common. Anything else you want to add?
P-wave axis is inverted in sinus venosus.
Yeah, because P waves origin sinus node से नहीं हो रहा, इसलिए कहीं ना कहीं और से origin होगा. So P wave axis would be inverted in sinus venosus ASD. Anything else?
In primum ASD, we see changes of AV canal defect, that is prolonged PR, left axis deviation, and the counterclockwise ventricular decoloration. Okay, this is known as Barbosa criteria.
Let's come to the X-ray. Anything else on ECG besides primum? Primum तो AV canal में हम discuss करेंगे. Anything else? Okay, let's go to X-ray.
An X-ray, so there will be dilatation of the pulmonary trunk. There will be increased vascularity of the lungs. There will be dilated pulmonary artery, and the right atrium will be enlarged, and usually right ventricle is enlarged and forms the cardiac apex. This is the left pulmonary artery, which is shown in the lateral side of the X-ray. Usually, left pulmonary artery is also greater, but it is usually masked within the cardiac shadow. So there will be increased pulmonary arterial and both pulmonary venous markings. And there is no enlargement of left atrium, so there will be no contraction, no impingement of esophagus on barium swallow. So same lateral X-ray, so the right pulmonary artery, left pulmonary artery, and the right ventricle below the sternum. There can be this is dilations when clever in connection with the sinusosis type of beta central effect. Basically, this is the right atrium. And in advanced stages, there will be aneurysmal dilatation of the both the pulmonary trunk, left pulmonary artery, and right pulmonary artery, with the dilatation of the RA and RA. This is the aneurysmal vessels. And these are more about function. This is the after development of pulmonary atrial fibrillation in those patients. So this is the enlarged pulmonary trunk. There will be same RA enlargement, RV enlargement with enlarged right pulmonary artery and increased vascularity. Both arterial and venous shadows are increased. So after in the same patient, with the pulmonary artery hypertension increases and there will be reduced flow across the pulmonary artery. So then in future it leads to decreased bronchoalveolar markings in the pulmonary lung pills. So basically, echo color flow imaging and Doppler integration we can look at the size and the location of the size of the ESG and its physiological consequences left to right or right to shunting. And
the next slide. If the images are not clear and then the rims are to be defined. Okay, next slide. You can jump this now.
Basically, this RV in direct case right RA and RV
manifestations of RA-RV dilatation and ASDs which are best seen in subcostal views or parasternal short axis view. You will be able to see the aortic and the atrial rim. Okay, next issue. Next.
Clamp PFO clamp usually compress होते हैं. This PFO अगर patent है तो if you give contraction RA, it will be processed into the LA. So by this you can diagnose ASD or patent PFO. So other differential diagnoses for ASDs are you can do microstenosis. Microstenosis can have dyspnea and orthopnea and atrial fibrillation, increased jugular venous clearance, and right ventricular impulse, loud first heart sound, and delayed pulmonary component of widely split second heart sound. So mistaken for matter opening snap, and mid-dash or tricuspid valve, including pulmonary vascularity with interest of pulmonary trunk, right ventricle, and left atrium. Other differential diagnosis is one is mitral regurgitation, because in MR there can be again atrial fibrillation, and apical homocysteine hormone, which is mistaken as the tricuspid regurgitation number, and wide pitch second heart sound, and mid-diastolic hormone, and which is mistaken for more across tricuspid, and they can get third heart sound. And the other is coexisting acquired heart disease, that is ischemic heart disease, which can lead to left kilometer tape recorded TS and atrial decay. Coming to Luttenberger syndrome, Luttenberger syndrome is the association of ASD with MS. It was first described in 1811 by Covisart. So in 1916, Luttenberger published a comprehensive account of these two defects combination. Is called Luttenberger syndrome. So the current consensus is Luttenberger syndrome consists of congenital defect in atrial septum together with acquired mitral stenosis, usually rheumatic attitude. So the patent phenomena is not included in the definition of Luttenberger syndrome, although it also can lead to higher left atrial pressure and MS may stretch the wall of the BFO, and it can cause incompetent phenomena and cause contraction. And recently we can have hydrogen Luttenberger syndrome, that is in patient who has a rheumatic MS, we do wall watering and we do septal puncture. So we are hypertonically creating the septal ASD. So that leads to, it's called hydrogenic Luttenberger syndrome. So what happens, MS increases the flow across the left atrium. There will be increased resistance from the left atrium to left ventricle. So there will be increased left to right shunt in proportion to severity of the MS. And in presence of restricted atrial defect, the severe mitral stenosis generates continuous left to right shunt because the pressure difference across the restrictive atrial exits toward the cardiac cycle. So sometimes it may also give continuous formal also. And ASD constitution alternate exit for decompressing the LA, and in doing so, the transmitted gradient decreases. The MDM intensity will be decreased in patient with ASD with MS. So, because of the left to right shunt and MS, so the left ventricle building will be decreased and stroke volume will be decreased. And in conversely, left atrial pressure and coronary artery pressure will be increased. That causes the right ventricle hypertrophy and decreased RV distensibility, which if the patient has pulmonary artery hypertension, then it reduces the left to right shunt and improves the left ventricle filling. Coming to history, it has a more protection for females because ostium syndrome is more common in females, and rheumatic MS is also more common in females. So it is more in females, and the incident rate of MS in patients with ESD is estimated at 4%, and the incident rate of ESD in patients with MS is estimated at 0.6 to 0.7%. So MS is rheumatic even when Luttenberger syndrome is similar because the ASD which is genetically transmitted in these patients. So the congenital ASD with acquired MS. So in underdeveloped countries, the history of rheumatic fever has been reported in 40% of patients with the Luttenberger syndrome. So the common symptoms of this is orthopnea, PND, pneumonia, and hemoptysis.
All the features of mitral stenosis are going to decrease with the presence of large ASD. But if the ASD is restrictive or small, the features of MS are not going to decrease. The other important point is there are pulmonary stenosis. In case of ASDs, you don't need to give infective endocarditis prophylaxis. But if there is a Luttenberger syndrome, it becomes a very important candidate where you have to give infective endocarditis prophylaxis. So all cases of ASD, one should always look at the presence of Luttenberger syndrome. What will be the findings, examination findings, which will tell you that there can be Luttenberger? Next slide, no? You must be examining the patient. Next.
So the jugular venous pulse, the RA and LA function as a complex temper, then the ASD is non-restrictive. So the same as in LA pressure, the A and A wave and B waves are of same height. And the Luttenberger syndrome therefore responsible for elevated mean JVP in the absence of right ventricular failure, but elevated jugular venous AVM in the absence of pulmonary hypertension. Because the increased LA pressure by the MS is transferred into the right atrium. So even in the absence of PH, there will be large AVMs in JVP. Coming to precordial movement and palpation, the impulse of RV and pulmonary trunk are more prominent in the non-restrictive AST than with an uncomplicated AST of same size because MS augments the left to right shunt. And in the left heart usually not palpable because it is antral frill, and there can be a laterally frill of the MS. It's
Left to right shunt is going to increase because of MS, no? So the impulse can go high, but PA pressures, yes, in Ruttenbecker can have high PA pressures also, but you can have a RV volume overload, you can have a high pressure overload. So wherever left to right shunt increases, the MDM is going to get accelerated. That probably will show an oscillation, but your parasternal impulse may become prominent. But remember, parasternal heave would come only if the PA pressure, RV pressures are high, not otherwise. Okay, oscillation.
Auscultation, the vascular signs of metastenosis will be depend upon what is the flow across the mitral valve. If there is a non-restrictive VSD, the flow across the mitral valve will decrease, so the MDM will decrease. If it is a restrictive VSD, so it is shows the features of the MS, and it depends upon the size of the metastenosis. So if the MDM increases, if the ASD is restrictive, and of the MS. And the oscular signs of uncomplicated MS are heard best over the left ventricular impulse, but in Ruttenberger syndrome, the cardiac apex is occupied by the overloaded RV. So there will be topographic advantage of osculation has been lost. So there is a difficulty in osculating MDM and MS in these patients. And there is an inspiratory augmentation of the tricuspid murmur, which is called Caravella sign, which is present in Ruttenberger syndrome.
That is not a feature of Ruttenberger syndrome. That is a feature of TR. That is present in Caravella syndrome, is present in any TR. This will help you differentiate MR from TR.
Basically, to differentiate from MR from TR, because the TR murmur will be
so what will be the find? If you are examining a patient of Ruttenberger syndrome, what examination findings are going to tell you that it can have a Ruttenberger? Auscultation तक आ गए ना, examination में from your pulse, from your JVP, from your precordial movement, and from our auscultation, what features are going to tell you that this patient can have a Ruttenberger? I'm not talking of a restrictive ASD. I'm talking of a Ruttenberger with a big ASD.
So patient can have a raised JVP with no features of loud P2 and there is no RV hyperkinetic RV नहीं मिलेगा. There's no features of pulmonary hypertension. We can with large A waves.
Large A wave, but no other feature of PH and no murmur of MS. Then we can suspect like ASD is there. And
whenever there is a severe mitral stenosis with a ASD, your pulse is going to be a narrow complex. Atrial fibrillation is going to be much more common. Atrial dilatation out of turn. ASD is more left to right shunt get accelerated. So here we will have all the features of RV volume overload, significant features of RV volume overload. Your RV impulse is going to be good. Your MDM is going to be very good. Rest, there won't be any significant difference in auscultation in MS as compared to ASD. All the features of ASD would get restricted. That's all. MS के कोई features you are not going to get in Ruttenberger syndrome. Okay. Anything else? Anything I want to add? Okay, ECG.
So, in one line, you can say that everything of MS will decrease and everything of ASD will increase in Ruttenberger syndrome.
या अगर आपने किसी को एग्जामिनेशन में ये आपने लुटम बैकेट सस्पेक्ट कर रहे हो, then you have to suspect whenever your clinical features are exaggerated, then you start thinking there is some other thing, either LVEDs are high, patient is having ischemia on the left side, or patient is having multiple sclerosis. Only two additional things which will point towards this is one, a very low volume pulse and atrial fibrillation. क्योंकि atrial fibrillation ज्यादा common होता है,
Yes.
atrial jar dilated होते हैं, और क्योंकि MS के क्रॉस ब्लड ज्यादा नहीं जा रहा होता है, इसलिए LV sided features become prominent. मतलब they are more prone to fatigue, they are more predisposed to having low volume pulses.
Yes.
ECG में कुछ है specific?
Same basically, no,
You have to
AST
talk of large
features
ASD. जब भी large ASD होता है, LA LV दोनों dilated होते हैं. So a bifid configuration of ECG would suggest, and atrial fibrillation is
Biatrial
more common.
enlargement.
Biatrial enlargement and atrial fibrillation. Two features will again point towards a possible mitral stenosis.
Broad
X-ray में
AF in patients. So, yes, sir. Same we can see the LA enlargement, and we can see on the pillars we can see the impingement of the layers. So this indicates the left atrial enlargement. We can see how the pulmonary tank is also conducted, and increase dilation. There is a dilation of pulmonary bipulmonary artery also, right atrium and left atrium. Sorry, right atrium, left atrium, and right ventricle.
So in one line, features of LA enlargement in PAH without any features of significant PVH is what Lutembacher is. Okay.
and RARV will be more prominent.
Yeah, RAR will be more prominent.
Okay, next.
Coming to echo, sir. So in echo, we
Echo
can see
में one thing is कि Doppler interrogation is not important. The important is to look at the 2D appearance of the two-dimensional appearance of the mitral valve.
Yeah. So a 10-mark question this time came in our exam. The fallacies of pressure of time theory exam. So one of the answers is Lutembacher.
underestimated. They have to do with pressure of time. The MS be underestimated.
So what was the question? Fallacies of?
Pressure half time.
Okay, sir.
So
Pressure half time. Pressure half time.
Lutembacher we have discussed. RV feature is out of proportion. Examination में atrial fibrillation, low volume pulse, exhausted features of ASD, and in few cases RV impulse. अगर parasternal heave मिल रही है आपको, so इसमें RVH ज़्यादा common होता है. So you can say that probably you might be in for a Lutembacher syndrome. Anything else you want to add in Lutembacher? Next. Common atrium. Okay.
So in combinator, there is the interatrial communication is usually lost. So it is different from it is isomerism, because in common atrium there will be both the right atrium and left atrium. In right atrium there will be vesicular terminals, there will be pectoral terminals, and there will be right atrial appendage. And this is the and in the left side there will be a morphological feature that is smooth vertebral walls and left atrial appendage, and this is the pulmonary veins. Whereas in right atrial isomerism, there will be either bilateral morphological right atrium or there will be a bilateral morphological left atrium. So, absence of atrial septum necessarily includes the ostium simum and the presence of common AV wall or cleft in the anterior medullary also. And the partial and non-polar insertion are frequent. The systemic endothelial system assists the connection to the left side portion of the common atrium and the persistent left subarachnoid cava and the left hemiaxial stream. The physiological consequence of left atrium is it resembles a non-resistive AST except for the obligatory mixing of the veno arterial bed. So this is basically cyanotic malformation with increased pulmonary blood flow. So usually, even in the absence of atrial septum, the veno arterial mixing is usually not more than moderate, and usually saturation is maintained above 90%. And the magnitude of left right shunt and the right left component of the internal mixing depend upon the distance between the right ventricle and left ventricle. So usually left ventricle is more compliant, so the left to right shunt is more compared to right to left shunt. So the patient who has a low PVR and dischargeable RV have more left right and absence of cyanosis, and the patient who has high PVR has a more right left shunt and more cyanosis. Coming to history, the symptoms began earlier when compared to the same non-restrictive ASD. So the symptoms can be dyspnea, fatigue, the recurrent LRTI because of increased blood flow, mild sinuses because of mixture of the both deoxygenated and oxygenated blood, and become physical underdevelopment first year of life. The patients usually uh, progress up to late childhood and early adolescence, but rarely up to adulthood. So the cyanosis occurs despite insufficient evidence of pulmonary hypertension and
Cyanosis is not
advanced
very common. It's a good mixture lesion. No, so cyanosis is very mild. You will have to elicit the cyanosis either by a pulse oximeter. It will behave like a very good mixture lesion क्योंकि mixing बहुत अच्छी है ना. But it's a common chamber, so there is no mixing which is left to right. Downs में AV canal defect होता है. Generally Downs क्यों लिखा है? Downs में common atrium is not a feature. Down is generally seen with the AV canal defects. No, so down is not a feature of common atrium. तो ये क्या लिखने की जरूरत है? I mean, Downs में generally नहीं होता है. More common syndrome which is associated with Elvis-Van-Creveld syndrome. Elvis-Van-Creveld syndrome जब भी होगा उसमें ectodermal problem होंगी, यानी fingers की problem, nails की problem. These are more common. Whenever you are examining a patient with ASD with mild cyanosis, you should examine the fingers very well. Look for these nails, which is very the syndactyly, fingers problem, nails which are small. Okay, next.
Phenodactyly.
the small form incisors and gingival hypertrophy.
Very important. You have to always see incisor teeth. Okay. Maxillary incisors are malformed.
Inguinal syndrome is orthogonal recessive type of.
They are dwarfs. Yeah.
They are dogs and with the polydactyly of hands and invertebrate. Polydactyly of feet in case of 10% of cases. There can be some 9th or 10th carpal also. Phenodactyly and hypoplasia of males. And
okay, just tell us in short how it is different from ASD presentation.
एक patient आ गया, ASD के features है. What examination features will tell you that this patient can have a Elvis-Van-Creveld syndrome, can have a common atrium. One features of Elvis-Van-Creveld syndrome we have discussed. Okay, what else?
One is early age of presentation, sir. One and usually cyanosis.
Cyanosis is very mild, so don't emphasize on cyanosis. Most of the time, clinically, you won't be able to put cyanosis in common atrium. You will have to elicit by pulse oximetry, or you will have to dip in water or meet him exert and see it. Examination में क्या मिलेगा? Different from ASD, just practical points. Instead of reading, just tell at the practical point कि कैसे पता चलेगा इसमें Elvis-Van-Creveld हो सकता है. Examination में. MR ज़्यादा common होता है ना? MR is much more common. So if you are getting a features of MR in a patient of ASD, there are only two possibilities. Either you are dealing with a AV canal defect, or you are dealing with a
ostium primum or common atrium.
Or you are dealing with a Lutembecker.
Also JVP.
Lutembecker. So all these there are three differential diagnoses. Downs phenotype, there is all more possibility of a AV canal defect.
AV canal.
Elvis-Van-Creveld types have more possibility of a common atrium. Also,
then JVP has large A wave in common atrium.
Why A waves are more prominent in common atrium? ASD में भी A waves ज़्यादा.
ASD में
जितने भी large
A and V are equal.
So A or V are almost equal, and A waves become a prominent is a feature of ASD. But इसमें because there is a significant shunt which is going antegradely, the second heart sound is the ejection murmur is very prolonged. That is with the increased shunt. The only way to differentiate is clinically examination and to look for the MR. That's all.
And you were right, early presentation, more symptoms of high flow, early in the age, LRTI, everything. Because there is, it is a kind of admixture lesion. No? There is mixing, is too much of mixing.
So in ACG, basically there is a deficiency of atrial septum in the clinical region and sinus dislocation, ostium primum and atrioventricular septal location. and also in the ocean synchronization. So these are reflected in the ECG. So there will be a leftward deviation with the PLR axis with the inverted PLS in the inferior leads is analogous to the
ECG
ectopic
में क्या है,
atrial
साइनस वेनोसिस पूरा सेप्टम ही नहीं है, साइनस वेनोसिस एरिया में भी नहीं है, तो इट विल बिहेव लाइक अ साइनस वेनोस एसडी, पी वेव कहीं ना
Yeah.
कहीं इधर उधर से रीजन लेगा, दैट्स ऑल,
Ectopic.
और ईसीजी में कुछ नहीं मिलेगा.
No significant changes. मतलब no specific changes for common atrium.
This ECG can, there will be no other change. Rest will be the changes of
Counterclockwise
ESD.
filtering of SS.
Leftward deviation of QRS cycles and counterwork depolarization. Generally, this is a feature of AV canal defect.
Yeah.
The AV canal, this what you are telling is
Basically, AV
AV canal, AV canal defect and common atrium में ज़्यादा फर्क नहीं होता है, because primum ASDs are big. They behave like a common atrium. But the main difference is clinical, syndromic, and the MR. MR is also present in AVSD. MR is present in this particular also. So then he can go to the ECG. ECG is leftward deviation. It will point towards the AV canal.
Leftward deviation with the swelling in the upstroke of the SPL.
AV canal का हो गया.
With the same.
I think ये भी लिखना ही पड़ेगा.
Inverted.
लिखना पड़ेगा. This you leave this. This points towards the AV canal. Next.
There can be inverted PVS and in the inferior leads.
This points towards the ectopic region of P wave.
The RV processor increased RV same in case of ASG in all cases.
ये counterclockwise depolarization दिख रहा है ना, जैसे इसमें दिख रहा है. This points towards the AV canal defect. This points towards the primum ASD. Like in this particular case, you can clearly see the axis is counterclockwise. It's left axis, so that means it is pointing towards the AV canal defect. ये भी लिखना पड़ेगा उनको. They must not confuse it. I mean, they're confusing both the things.
ये लिखा तो मतलब दोनों वो वाले फीचर्स भी आएगा वो इसमें.
एक्सरे में स्पेसिफिक कुछ है? एक्सरे में तो all the features of ASD are exaggerated, that's all, because there is a significant large shunt which is there. Next. Echo में तो of course you are able to see.
So the floor imaging shows the regurgitation of the left component of the common heavy wall. So RV is directed.
Echo में probably nothing extra you are going to see except for the deficient septum, left heavy wall regurgitation, which is, so this is almost the same. And next we already discussed all this. Same findings are there in echo. Anything specific in echo?
Specific question was absent of the septum was in
Go to next.
primary vein. This is the IBC and the
Next slide.
so AV septal defect is usually left ventricle outflow tract is separated from the right atrium by the AV atrial septum. The defect in this septum leads to the combination of left ventricle outflow into the right atrium. So there can be complete absence of atrial septum, or there can be deficiency of the septum in the atrial region, or it can be at the region of the ventricle, or at the both. So AV septal defect, they can have common AV ring and 5-leaflet valve that cause a common atrial orifice, and unwedged left ventricle outflow tract, an aortic valve that is anterior superior to the common atrial junction, and LV valve that is which has a longer distance from apex to the aortic valve and compared to the apex to the AV valve. The different types. So it is only the septum pavement of ASD is present. In this only the BSD is present. Then complete the AV canal defect. Both
so one must know the 5 components of a AV canal defect. Okay, and most important is unwedging of the aorta. Okay, so next slide. This we have discussed. Next, we will go faster on AV canal defect because of the time constraint. This we have already discussed. Now next, you must know the 5 components. They are at the same level, and there is unwedging of the aorta. Okay, next. We want to discuss clinical part actually.
The 5-leaflet valves, usually there can be a septum can be present or may not be present. So there can be 2 outflows, or either right RV and LV, or there can be a single outflow. This is and usually the anterior metal leaflet is usually collected. This is the LV angiogram, which is show the collected and the alveolar output tract is usually elongated. This is called gooseneck deformity.
Achha,
And
just a minute. I think tomorrow Rohit is not presenting, no?
We can continue it further, sir.
I think AV canal we can continue tomorrow, है ना?
Yes, sir, it is longer.
Yeah. जितना भी बचा है we can continue, and अगर time बचेगा I will take up PH also. मेरे पास तो बना ही हुआ है.
ठीक है, so we'll continue this tomorrow with the AV canal because there are a lot of slides and we should not be rushing unnecessary. We'll be rushing.
It is very important. AV canal.
So we'll discuss AV canal tomorrow. And anyway, Rohit is not presenting, so we have a buffer day.